All right, so you guys are in the fire opal, deciding where to go, over in Emodia. Them darn coalition.
Mm-hmm.
How are you deciding where to go? What means of making your decision do you utilize?
Well, we're waiting for the capital ship to leave, then we're giving you a day, and we're going to follow.
Okay, I'm just going to try and follow this ship.
Mm-hmm. With a tracker.
All right.
Need to make some money so I can go buy a new data pad.
Since bailing someone's ass out of jail was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Way more expensive than bailing me out of jail. So I don't break everything. I just eat all of their pucks. From the Puck Corporation.
No, I'd forgotten that.
He's already decided it's a thing now for the rest of the series.
For every Star Wars game. All of the food pucks come from the Puck Corporation.
I don't even know if they're going to see those again, but whatever.
I don't care. I will buy food pucks.
To make the joke.
Nobody has food bucks anymore, only gourmet, 5-course theaters.
I just say the Puck Corporation really upped their game. From the Puck Corporation.
So
to
that
Mainline.
capital ship leaves at some point.
Keep them on tracker thing.
Is that,
Let's see, you're going.
do I have anything to do with that? No? Excellent. I'm just going to keep driving my car.
As we sit here and park.
Hey, that's still driving. You get pulled... If a cop comes up and you're drunk and in park, guess what? That's drunk driving.
I'm going to go ahead and say
Yeah.
it leaves, and as it does, it disappears from your signal altogether.
Computer check to try to bring it back up? Obviously something went wrong.
To try to bring it up, or to figure out what's wrong.
Yeah.
Which one?
Figure out what's wrong.
Then that's just an average.
It's too far away. I can tell you that without rolling.
Well,
Success.
yes.
Lots of successes with a good stuff.
5 successes and an advantage.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and say you pretty much, as it disappears, you realize what it is pretty instantly, but it's probably not going to show up while it's in hyperspace.
Oh, I thought we could track things in hyperspace.
It might show up where it is afterwards, and you might be able to track it if you were in hyperspace, but you would probably have to have... At that point, you would either be, probably at least burning a day going the wrong way, or...
Would that be a piloting check to keep up with them in hyperspace?
Well, at this point, you would just generally have to arbitrarily guess which direction to go.
Can I use a pilot check to arbitrarily guess?
Just follow their hyperspace weight. That's probably a thing, right?
Yeah. Quite specifically, I have the coordinate where they are, and so from where you are, if you want to just enter hyperspace and try to go, otherwise you could wait pretty much until they get there, and you'd know the direction to head, and you just have to drop out every so often and see. All right, how much?
Let's just follow them.
Wait till they pop up on scanners and go in that direction.
No, let's just follow them.
We can't just follow them. We don't know which way they went.
We know which way they went.
No.
That way. We saw them leave.
Can I take a shortcut?
There's at least half the galaxy that we know they didn't go to.
If we start pursuing them, I can take shortcuts. And in hyperspace, that's a thing.
I believe it's best not to just waste our hyperspace gas.
I don't have a problem with it. It'll be fine.
Is that actually a limited resource?
No,
'Cause,
we have infinite hyperspace.
Just pour in a can of liquid short.
We can't go plaid, so we're not going until we see him pop up.
You're not even driving. I don't know why I'm listening to you.
Because I entered the astrogation checks, and I'll tell the robot not to.
I'm capable of astrogation. I have that.
Where are
It's
those? I have 5 intellect.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, he's...
I just get 2 of these and that's it.
Yeah.
he gets an extra yellow, you get 4.
I'll start putting points in this. I've got points. Don't start with me.
I don't.
Yes, you do just sit on the points, don't you?
Quite often.
So, how long do you want to just try and sit there?
Well, like I said, I was going to give it a day.
Okay, so yeah, you're just going to stop a day and see if they have a short trip, because they don't. They will not have shown up in a day.
In that case...
Trail's gone cold.
Hmm?
Trail's gone cold. Way too long.
Theoretically, regardless of where you're at, once they're out, while they're out, and as long as it doesn't get discovered while they're in hyperspace, which is unlikely, not impossible, but unlikely, then regardless of where you are, you'll get the direction from where you are at that point.
I say we go back to mazes. There was jobs there. We can go try to rescue prisoners and fuck with these guys later. You like jobs and money, don't you?
Offered him what he couldn't refuse. Money.
He said that he would pay me, so I did that. Very well, we'll go there. I don't care. I'm clearly not in charge of piloting.
You're in charge of piloting thing, just not navigation or course decision.
Or-
You're totally in charge of getting us there.
Because you can't fly.
So unless you just want to ignore the information he gives you and say, I'm going this way. Which, I mean, technically, as you
Just
are...
take the safety off hyperdrive and hit go.
Well, compare over, you hit star.
Unlikely, I mean...
Space is a big place.
and really, how likely am I just to end the campaign from one stupid dick decision? I mean, really, this wouldn't go very far. Yeah, so say that where you go?
Yeah.
Set up Moses, Takadana. You head out there.
Oh, I'm sure I already applaud course, Nick.
Isn't it like 2 weeks away?
Yeah, would be.
I believe the astrogation check is average.
I already applaud
I
course.
believe it's easy.
I applaud a crap ton of courses.
It's easy. It's only average if things like you're trying to rush it or your ship is damaged. And you don't bother updating your maps.
Well, we've done all those. And while you did, I can get more successes and cut down time.
I don't care. It obviously doesn't matter.
To be fair, once this happens, something else happens, and it may be completely irrelevant.
2 successes, 2 advantages.
Okay. Because, like I said, once you enter hyperspace, now your tracker is working.
So we could have just followed them, as I said.
Although, admittedly, with where you're going here, I believe you know that you're going in the wrong way. So you wasted a day beforehand, and you do sort of taking a day out of your way beforehand. But otherwise, you generally know that they're headed galactic southeast.
So can I do my shortcut check now?
If you would want to do the astrogation instead of...
It's flying. It's flying.
That's nothing to do with
It's-
astrogation.
No, it's pretty much plotting a course in that direction. But, I'll let you kind of know. Let's see, where were you?
Average.
Easy.
Oh, I don't know. But... Oh, that's wonderful! That's
So many
wonderful!
blanks. So many blanks. I'm like, we should go that way. And I just point the wrong direction. The way we're going. I'm like, we should go the way we're going. And that will get us there, because it's a circle. The screen's round. We just go around the edge. That's how that works.
Yeah. Let me explain sort of what's going on and let me sort of figure out. Because you're what? Nemo to you, which I believe is right around here. And so pretty much you started heading out and down here to head out to Sakadana, down what is Galactic Southwest. You need to go Galactic Southeast. You're not really sure how far out they're going, though. And as... it'll be much more understandable if I do this while you guys are able to see the map. Whatever. Neomodia, they're heading towards Takodana, which is down here, and they know that Galactic Southwest, which is that way, is where they need to go. So really the question is, you have to pick a spot where you are plotting a course for, because you're too far to really just... I mean, you can just...
That one.
Okay.
I was going to say we should probably hit, this one, which is hub.
No, that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It doesn't really matter. Really, what I'm looking for is you're going for...
more south.
Yeah,
than
it's
east.
016.
Mhm.
There's actually coordinates on the thing.
Yeah.
And I know what coordinate it's in.
Okay.
But yes, with that information, you are just able to make your easy check.
You know, it's kind of interesting because the entire history of Star Wars takes over place a couple thousand years, and that's enough that the galaxy can move enough that those coordinates will go off.
Various maps actually take that into consideration.
Like that's probably a neat bit of astronomy there.
5 successes, 3 advantages.
It's like your dice showed up the opposite as his.
You can always crit miss.
Yes.
And this system, more than others.
But you still find your pretty much you get there, and as it drops out, let's see, it probably takes you about a week.
Mm-hmm.
There, you drop out, you figure out, okay, they're still in hyperspace, and at your last point of information, they were still further to the southeast.
So we stopped here for the southeast, so... Chris is... Chris is... Can't actually see that.
Q16.
Sure. I'm aiming for that planet.
So you
it's
just
along
had,
the
you just had
space route.
head east from there, then, because you were already in 16, so you would just pretty much just be going just east.
The one next to it. I was pointing to this one, which is one more.
Okay, so Q17.
Mm-hmm.
Again, takes you another... Oh, it's not that far. 3 days. See, 3 days, you wasted 2, you took a week. You blow the check out of the water, doesn't matter. If the purple dice doesn't show up at all, and still find them further to the southeast.
They going into the black?
At this point, you can figure that they probably didn't stop out different places. You haven't noticed that. You're almost at 2 weeks since they entered.
Mm-hmm.
They probably went pretty far.
Yeah.
Let's go into wild space.
Well, I'm going to go to the end of the trade line, and if they're still there, then we'll go into wild space, which is be scary.
S18?
Remember, only crazy people go outside the galaxy into the black.
Yeah.
Only crazy people.
I can see you. They're not paying attention. I'm still looking at you.
Directly at you.
A quick glance this way. Make sure I'm not paying attention before you're whispering crap at the camera.
I don't know, I think it's better this way.
There you go. 4 successes and 2 advantage.
Yeah. Still at that point, that's going to be southeast.
Outdated charts.
It's going to be essentially the +3, so 4 total to pretty much plot where they are.
Take a blue dice. Yeah, droid's helping.
Yeah, you can do that.
If I help, does he get 2 blue dice?
Nope.
I help anyway. Don't look at me like that.
I think you did pretty well. Something bad may have happened, but none of those are failures.
No.
What?
He's fine.
Yeah, he actually gets an advantage.
A single advantage.
You get another dice on this side? Okay. Yeah. It's like, I'm seeing where they even out. But anyways, But yeah, you pretty much... Yeah, what? Several... 5 successes and an advantage?
Yeah. Not only do I part it out there, we go quick.
Yeah, you make your way pretty much there. You do notice probably it's only the fact that you dropped out and in on your way up doesn't seem to have caused you much issue. Pretty much those 2 days originally of dilly-dallying and going the wrong way is the only bit that you feel that you've really fallen behind by. So you're about they drop out about 2 days before you actually get there, and it's in T20. And you can more or less drop out pretty much, you're going to be in a system that, at this point, you don't really have any information on.
Yeah.
But you are pretty, once out, able to trace down track down the ship to the planet that it's over.
Stay pretty far back. Keep them on our long range scanners. See if there's any moons or stuff we can hide behind.
Nothing as close as a moon, but some distance out, the planet is beside a asteroid ring that is dense.
Okay.
But that pretty much, yeah, that's really pushing the extent of your long scanners to.
Okay, let's do your piloting and let's put us into that asteroid belt. See if maybe we can nudge an asteroid out that we can follow in its wake.
You know what's an easy job?
What?
Ship's guard. Easy job.
Get a lot of space chests done.
So what do I need?
Alright, so what are you trying to do?
Fly
To
directly
accomplish.
into an asteroid.
We are
See,
not
that
throwing
would be an
it.
easy check.
Yeah, we are not throwing an asteroid at the planet. Just a closer in, just nudging it off its current orbit so we can follow
pilot
it.
check to.
Can we throw an
Oh,
asteroid
wait.
into the planet?
Can I take a
No.
pilot check to exploit natural phenomenon to stay out of their scanners?
I'm just pointing out that we're not trying to steal a planet. So if it gets damaged, it's not our problem.
Probably not. But I'll hand you 5 of these. And I don't know, you have quite a few yellows, so maybe.
Odds are on his side.
Triumph. 2 bads.
Two bad and 3 negative, so you got 5 plus, and you're up 3. So success with like what? 2 advantage
Yeah, triumph.
and a triumph.
You're like, push one of those asteroids out. I'm like, nah, I'll just hide from them.
Can't we?
With my
I'm just
ship.
saying we don't need that entire planet.
We're trying to save the slaves, not be diplomatic with them.
Yeah, more or less, you managed to use your knowledge of ships and how they work to...
Disguise yours as a space whale.
You laugh. There are space whales in Star Wars.
Yeah, and they're terrifying.
to figure out where to go to avoid their scanners until you'll be within probably around the range of your ability to visually
See them.
yes, yeah, to
So I keep them
Damn, that's
within my
looking like
eyesight.
miles.
That's real close. Yeah.
yeah.
You're like,
To be
push
fair, they're still they're much easier than that, but it is still, yes. You being smaller are probably out of visual range of them, but yes, that would be the point.
You're like, push out an asteroid, hide behind it. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna do this. And you're like, I don't even know how you're doing that. I'm like, I told
yeah,
you.
no. If
you
anything,
can't
it's
fly.
nerve wracking. You're clearly they're going to know where you're at, but
We just
ballsy
turned off-
as he might be.
We just turned off all the outside lights. That's obviously the best choice.
Someone had to paint the goddamn ship orange.
Should have painted it black.
It's not actually painted orange.
What color is it?
It's just the color of the metal. It's just
It's gray.
Well, no, it's the gray metal, like the silvery gray metal on the main body of the ship.
What about the big
and
red
the cargo thing is like a copper material.
Yeah, sir. big hauling containers made of copper and space.
Copper, bronze. Really, examining it, it looks like it's been patched.
I like to have a
whole
whole ship made of transparent steel.
What is this ship called? It's called the Unnerving.
It feels like I'm walking in space. Yeah, you're not. You're like 3 feet of metal between you and space. It's just see-through.
I'm not comfortable with this bathroom setup.
On the walls are transparent steel.
However, on the upside, you can watch your poos.
Actually watch them go down through there, get recycled,
Ah,
and
your
watch it come
boyhood
back into
dream.
the water system.
Your boyhood dream. Watch as someone drinks your poo water.
The answer is you and everybody else.
Closed system, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, Star Wars gave us transparent steel, which is exactly the same as normal Durasteel, except see-through. The applications are endless.
And all of them unnerving.
So, you can see them. They're there. More or less, you see that there are 2 of the capital ships. You can't quite see what they're doing. You're not that close.
What's up with the planet?
Well, currently it's not being hit by an asteroid for some reason.
Yeah.
This is why you're not in charge
Yeah,
of
ask
buying
more
things.
specific question.
Scan them for work camps.
So we're going to try to actively scan something further away than the thing we're hiding from. Is that correct? Just asking if that's the thing you're doing, so then I can make fun of you for it.
Can I make
I want you to commit to this so I can make fun of you for it.
Can I make a computer or mechanics check to get the scanners to scan in only one direction?
So we
So-
don't get the
To
information.
be fair, direction is looking. There's them, and beyond them is planet. Really, if anything, yeah.
They're in our way.
Yes.
Thought we might be off to the side of them.
No,
So-
they are in
gonna be tight
between.
nets.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I not piloting enough? I finally got to roll some dice on nothing but criticism.
I'm just saying, you could have flown a little better.
Technically true. Still
He
not nice.
could have thrown out like multiple triumphs.
Yeah, I mean, come on, you had all those yellows, only one triumph.
Shut up.
To be fair, I roll computer and mechanics checks all the time and almost never get a triumph.
Please, I've played this game like 3 times and I've built like 1.
I mean, each yellow dice you roll, there's a 1 in 12 chance of getting a triumph.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm rolling like half the dice of yours. So.
He's rolling a d6.
Yeah.
Well, then there's no triumph on there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that is our
exactly.
point.
Exactly.
The fact that he got 1 is a miracle.
Yeah.
He
So,
was cheating.
Must have been.
so sit there, observe those.
You're not really able to tell what they're doing from here.
How, can we roll an
there we
asteroid
go.
into the capital ship?
I pull out my micro binoculars.
Micro?
Yeah.
Not macro?
Macro binoculars.
There you go.
Micro.
These binoculars suck.
They're really good for seeing small things.
You mean a magnifying glass, right?
But-
No, it's a micro
But
binoculars.
since the asteroid into planet plan's been vetoed, what about asteroid into capital ship?
I'm okay with asteroid into capital ship. That be a gunnery check?
I'm just saying, I would include a couple reds on there without flipping a thing.
Just because don't be a dick.
The odds are.
Not in your favor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously it's going to be a hard check to aim, but we can at least throw one at them, right? In their general direction.
And you know, most likely
Well,
they'll notice it.
They can move.
Yeah, well, not even that. They will notice it, and simply putting shields on that side is gonna just deflect that.
Can we treat them like bumpers in,
Pinball machines?
there
or
we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Just
Just
throw.
bounce it in between them.
No.
Their shields fail.
No, that you can't.
But would it rack up points?
Yeah, 100 per bounce. It
Points being
multiplies.
calculated in Adam's anger.
If anything, it seems more or less, yeah, at this point, maybe you'll notice just, it takes a while before you see anything.
Mhm.
Obviously, they're not going to be doing much, but occasionally you might see one of those transport ships like he was taken on going to or from the planet.
So they are delivering people. Probably.
That or someone got some drudgery work.
So let's land on planet and start assaulting their bases.
Let's circle around to the other side and go in the atmosphere.
Okay. I do that.
You head around to the far side of the planet.
Still being as stealthy as I can.
Yeah.
As stealthy as you can in a giant cargo freighter.
Well, we know
Pretty
how
stealthy.
Good we know how good I am at parking these things. It's like dropping the piano with me.
Pretty fun.
Which is impressive considering, how small a piano is and how big the ship is.
I mean, it's pretty graceful when you think about it.
Anyways, yeah, you get around. Yeah, that's easy enough. Just keeping a wide berth.
Go into Atmo, swing back around the planet in the atmosphere, flying low. Scan. Computer check, I guess, for scanning. Or
Can I fly low enough to muck with their scanners?
I'm gonna make that be a stealth check.
Gotta like Star Wars. So we're in the future. Laser guns, laser swords, flying spaceships, radar still muddled by getting too close to the ground.
That stuff's confusing, yo.
I thought you had actual points and stuff.
No, I am a...
Not you. It won't affect this check.
You can just hot drop points in. Pity.
Oh, thank you.
You rolled blank dice. All blank.
I push.
Okay, even out.
He failed. With an advantage.
Oh yeah, there is an advantage on there.
Okay. Well, then I'll let you figure out before you actually get too far that you're not going to be able to fly over there with and avoid detection by any of whatever seem to be radar base systems they have.
I land.
Yes. Hold
I
on.
guess technically-
Hold on. I think their radar's broken, though. I'm almost sure it's broken.
It's not a ship. Can you do that against...
Once per session, make a bad motivator action hard check to cause one targeted device to spontaneously fail.
What is it called?
Once per session.
Bad motivator.
It's even once per session.
Yes.
I used the force. It's broken.
That's
Dude, we
definitely...
were talking about dropping an asteroid into their capital ship. You should have used that motivator on their shields.
We would have still had to hit them, and they can move. It's kind of like how people can't bar doors because people can move.
I'm just thinking.
So yeah, you notice that they have a radar that's it's about to go out.
Damn it. Make their reactor stop working, they lose power, they don't got engines or shields. Then they can't move. Yeah, then we can handle
Remember, it is subject to my approval.
Then we can handle an asteroid.
Adam ruins all of our fun.
Well, I'm letting this go through.
Adam ruins everything.
That is a TV show.
It's a great show. Great show.
And Nick botches it.
I have an advantage.
You came down with a case of botulism.
Botching things.
I have two advantages.
Well, then you notice, no, it's not failing before you tell him that it is going to fail.
Yeah. It's like, I think that's right. No, it's not. Okay. Land.
However, I guess I can let you know beforehand that basically from the air and just going through, you can see that the planet itself is made of metal and is full of holes.
Is the atmosphere toxic?
Shut up.
That would be an easy check.
Of what caliber?
Well, of what caliber would be easy, but of what type would be...
Thinking, oh no, caliber's coming types to me.
That seems like a word that you would want to use properly. Just saying.
I used it according
I don't
to
know.
Computers
Probably
and
computers,
scanning.
unless there's something else you want to use.
change the subject for our
I'll go out there and sniff the air.
No, you don't.
Go out there and go, I'm breathing fine, guys. Come on out. Which is wrong.
Okay, I told you I won. 2 advantages.
Yeah.
1 success, 2 advantages.
It was a... How you going to? Yeah, but yeah, you, it is not toxic. It is not oxygen.
What is it?
It's gonna be some...
Who breathes out there?
Hmm?
Who breathes out there? Just tell us what race breathes out there.
I don't know.
Keldors?
I'm going to roll xenology for who breathes that.
Nothing that you know of.
Oh.
Okay. Even with my point and Z.
Nothing that I know of.
Okay.
So
This is not this is a planet that's beyond. It is out in wild space. As far as you know, nothing came from here.
So do we have any oxygen equipment?
I have a respirator.
That's 1 of the 3 we need.
Technically, I don't think he needs that at all, but I don't think that would work for either of you. So you only really need 2.
I don't have any. And we got our stormtrooper armor taken away.
Hey, at least one person here was smart enough to get a respirator.
Do you have any
Plan
other... Did you get any other type of armor on here?
Nope.
Nope, you took it away from us.
We had one type of armor and they got taken.
We've only killed 1
See what he
stormtrooper.
Yeah.
We have only killed
No,
a
that
single
was
stormtrooper.
the slave outfit you have.
Yeah. I got a slave uniform.
I don't think that comes
Heck,
with
how-
breathing.
how
It
long-
does not have a breathing
How
apparatus.
long were we...
However,
transit?
you will notice that there is essentially a... I think that's what you'll notice. There is a tube that almost seems to run through it. Knowing this, you would think possibly it was it would be attached to the breathing apparatus through it, but
How long were we in transit? Weeks?
yeah, a couple of weeks.
Would I have had time to doctor up the too large uniform to fit me?
Why would you be doing that?
Because he has nothing else to do on a
because the
trip.
other one that fits me has a big black stripe down the back.
I'm just wondering why you wouldn't keep the one that fits one of them for one of them. It already fits them.
It's a human-sized one?
Yeah.
Why would they need it? They can't breathe out here.
You didn't know that they wouldn't be able to when you were on your way. Did you really decide that you were just not?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna. If I want to be able to, if I can size it down to go over my clothing and still look okay.
He's not breaking the small one.
Okay.
He's just breaking the big one down for himself.
Which would have been the one that could have fit one of you guys, but
We now have shorts.
but yes, if you were wanting to do that, you could have, yeah.
Awesome.
You just now don't have one that would work for either of them. But I guess you are the one that can exit here.
Yeah. Well, presumably, I mean, if we had oxygen tanks, we could jury rig something up. We wouldn't need the suit with the tubes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing since the suit isn't air, it's not a self-contained suit. There's not like a pressure problem outside, or temperatures or radiations because it's not full body coverage.
Nope.
So it's just an Atmo problem.
Yep. It is just the lack of oxygen.
Well then, I'll go out with my slug thrower rifle and see if I can find
Some materials for my other compatriots.
Don't you have another rifle?
No,
I thought you
you
got
have that rifle.
You put a sling on it,
All
so you
right.
could carry it.
That's true.
I feel like he's dressing up like one of the...
Prisoners
yeah,
I
one
am
of...
dressed like one of the prisoners.
with a rifle and a gaffy stick.
Nothing unusual about this.
And you're going out there, and I could just see how you would just easily end up... Oh, as far as you can tell, you were drafted, and they shuffle you back in, and you're in the same situation you were in last time. That's what we're going towards, isn't it?
Maybe.
Alright, you get a... but yeah,
Then we have to file more paperwork.
We're out here in the middle. You took one of our people. How'd you get here?
We tracked them. You took them.
Alright, come on board, they see you. We just saw...
We gave him back. No, you didn't.
You gave us some other kid. We put out a blood and came found you.
Wrong again, man.
Well, let's see what does happen. So you're able to get... I know you have comms.
Yeah.
Do you have anything?
I don't anymore.
Yeah, the ship has a comm. He has a comm.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that would allow you visual?
I have you give you the macro binoculars.
No, I mean for you guys to see what he sees.
Does that come with
No.
the comm unit stuff? If not, no. I didn't.
Unless it comes with long range.
It's like, to my knowledge, I don't know what makes hollow videos.
Little handhold things.
Well, I don't have one.
Because if this is like every other prison camp ever, there's going to be like 100 prisoners and like 5 guards.
Because the general assumption is the prisoners don't have, concepts of acceptable losses to overrun them.
No, that's the idea. It's like, yeah, you could overrun the prisoners, but you lose like 20 guys. Who's willing to be one of that 20?
Yeah.
I'm not going to bring it up because it'll probably come up and it'll be funnier if it comes up in time. Anyway, so yeah, you make your way out. You're more or less able to describe to them what you're seeing,
Yep.
but you have audio, variable and stuff. You're able to communicate, but other than that, the pair of you are more or less you're on the ship. I'll also say you can get enough to actually track the location. So if something were to happen, you can just
fly
say,
over
"Damn
them.
the fact that they're going to spot us. We're going to go get them." You can do that.
Flyovers, strafe it with gunnery.
There's no one with gunnery except you.
Yeah.
No, just me. You can still shoot the gun. Like I said, strafe it, just suppressing fire.
Yeah, you have enough agility to where you wouldn't be bad.
Anyways, you make your way through the ground here. It's metal and it's sort of that texture of like
Corrugated?
lava rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of
Basalt?
Yeah, that bubbly kind of thing. It has that with some areas where there are what would seem almost big bubbles that lead almost looking like into caverns within the surface. The planet itself seems to, and from your flyover, you didn't see much variation. It just seems to be made of this, only at some sort of that typical silvery colored metal. Just that sort of iron kind of whatever neck pipe. But anyways, you know the look of them.
Yeah.
That is what this planet is. It's rough and.
Well, I'm not trying to make good time.
But you make your way on foot.
If possible, I engage targets at extreme range.
Does your slug thrower...
No.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't go at extreme range. It's got medium range.
So, not possible. But hey, you only said if it was possible, right?
Yeah. If possible.
I want to engage targets at as much range as possible.
You can more or less, you can choose to just avoid what is the outer radar tower that was spotted, or you can engage with that.
What's the tower? Is it part of a complex or is it standalone?
It, from a distance, it looks like it's more or less a single building that's set up out here.
Well, let's get a little closer and check it.
Okay.
If it's an outpost, there's maybe like only 3 guys in there.
Yeah, fine.
You can scan with those macro binoculars.
Yeah, you don't seem, you probably see a secondary single-story building beside it.
Let's get a little closer and check that place out.
Getting a bit closer, you do notice generally the look of where it is built seems almost as if the surface of the planet had been more or less heated, melted into what would be a flat base, to which they built the structure on top of. Though the structure itself does appear to be of beams and such that were created from what looks to be the same metal. The radar tower itself, while tall, all the lower levels are more or less just sort of a scaffolding look. Only the top is actually an interior, and of course the building beside it is just an interior. You would guess probably a living quarters.
So the scaffolding's got like a ladder?
Stairs, but yeah.
Well, let's go up the stairs.
Okay, you just go in. You'll need a stealth. It'll be 3 purple.
Oh yeah, I'm super sneaky.
Are you?
No, yes.
No. I've got no ranks in stealth. I've got 3 agility. We're rolling pure chance here.
Would you kick its butt? Or
Depending on what that purple is.
One success.
Oh, no.
One success.
Just
Just
otherwise,
barely sneaky enough.
you get to the top of the stairs, and there isn't even like it's not like a trapdoor. It just sort of walks upstairs into this interior.
Just open
Yeah.
door frame. Is there anybody inside?
Well, not door frame, like open ceiling. It walks up into it.
I go quietly. I want to see if there's people up there.
Yeah, so you kind of peek just where your eyes are above, which you know by that point, if they're looking here, they're going to get you before you could see them. But if they're not looking, you could tell. And pretty much you get up and you see the back of one of the coalition.
So it's just
you
one
know,
guy?
Yeah, one guy sitting in his old retrofitted clone.
not clown.
Can I shoot him?
Yeah,
in
it's a
the,
clone armor.
Can I like shoot him in the back of the neck, where that seam is between the 2 laminates? Because I've seen how good they stop blaster shots.
It's not really so much as it is a sealed suit.
Well, yeah, but there's that black piece.
That's a bodysuit underneath the laminates.
I want to get as close as possible and try to ensure that I just kill him without having to roll for it. If possible, I kill him without rolling.
Oh, not possible at all.
Because I don't want to roll. There's a high probability I'll fail if I have to roll.
I know that's the point. That's the good part.
Then I get as close as possible and shoot him with my gun.
What kind of gun is it?
Slug thrower.
Is it light or heavy?
Heavy.
It is heavy. With a heavy weapon, getting as close as you can, so engaged, would be 3 purple.
Remember, it's actually better to have a little distance. You don't engage with rifles.
If you stay at a short distance, so if you stay a bit further away, it's easy. It's 1 purple.
Well, let's do that.
Yeah, if you just do it from the door, then yeah, it's much easier.
The part where I have less penalties.
The part where he's not just going to be like, what?
As I nudge it directly into his neck.
To be fair, if you made it with that engage, you would get right at that spot that you wanted. This way, you definitely risk making visible damage on it.
Well, I'm gonna try and shoot him with my gun.
Need a couple advantages not to visually damage it.
Yeah.
I forget, is it a special thing to do aim?
Probably.
No. You just give yourself a blue dice by spending the action.
Oh.
Or maneuver.
Well, you could have done
No
that.
advantage.
3.
Enough successes to take him out, though. Right?
Yeah.
Well, what's the base damage?
11 damage.
Okay, yeah, that's it. It's like probably, unless it's a weak. But yeah, you get whatever, probably through shoulder, but
You shoot him through the shoulder so bad he just dies instantly.
yeah.
Well, that's 1.
You can shut down the unit and I can get closer.
I'm guessing that.
Nah, that wouldn't have worked. Oh, and the slug rifle is not a quiet weapon.
Yeah.
No. Now we get into the building and I wait for somebody to come and investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Just hit him with a stick. You're better at hitting them
Well,
with sticks.
there's one... No. Okay, a little bit. Nah, it's 2 yellows and a green versus 1 yellow and 3 greens.
No one seems to be coming, or at least if so, they're
Well,
they're hunkered down at some.
That's the point. I'm just making sure that nobody comes like immediately.
Yeah.
Like they heard the noise.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of gun did this guy have? Pistol? Just pistol or rifle?
I have to try.
Oh.
It's not my decision. It's whatever the thing says. Because the idea would be that they're standard issued, and if I try and remember it each time, I'm gonna get it wrong. And it would be a pistol.
Alright, so it's pistol. So if there's a guy down... Yeah, I'll go downstairs. Let's go into the living quarters, see if there's somebody down there.
No, but there are spots of 3 essentially pods that are beds, and pretty much what it looks like is they are transparent sort of bubbles that each have a lock and a double sort of almost...
In the living area?
Yeah. It's pretty much full of 3 that have like a window in the front that leads into a little room, airlock room, and then another window where there's basically a bed and table beside it. But other than that, that's...
Nobody's in here?
Yeah, no one in here.
Okay, after hearing all this,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk you through shutting
I
down...
haven't talked to you ever since I got here. After I've done this, then I call back and say, I killed one guy. Should I shut down this radar thingy?
You should bring us his Atmos suit.
And I'll come and shut down that.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so they want you want me to bring you the suit?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I can do that. I just drag this guy back.
Like,
Are you
the
gonna
suit
take
or
it
the
out?
body? The body.
The whole body. I don't want to leave it here.
What?
Yeah.
Do you think you just played
My
an impromptu
gun
game of
does
strip
not.
poker
My
with
gun does
himself?
not cauterize wounds on contact.
Just blood all over the console.
Nope. Let's pull that body away.
There's a blood trail then away off into the bubbles.
Like I said, that's the starting of a great story.
And suddenly, the Thing shows up on this random metal planet. You would have a real hard time here, where there's nothing to hop into.
Yep. But that's what we do. We drag it back.
How
Heck,
strong are you?
I got 4 brawn.
You probably carry it back.
Well, that's yeah.
If you drag it, you're going to completely break it. He has a check to reseal it from the current thing. You'd be scraping one side of it to pieces if you dragged it along the surface.
Just pure metal.
Yeah, it is. It's just jagged metal.
Well,
yeah,
make it back.
you make it back, and otherwise, yeah, you see the suit, and it does. It has the hole in the shoulder, which would clearly break the seal. But
This is clearly not airtight anymore.
Yeah, no, those helmets are the airtight part. I've seen enough Star Wars things where you put the helmet on. That's the breathy part.
Well, obviously. The rest of it would be important if we had a pressure problem.
Yeah. But if it's just breathing, you can put the helmet on.
Which is why the lungless Gand isn't allowed to go in space. Pressure still causes damage. But now we can have a guard escorting a prisoner. I am the sneakiest Gand.
Oh, Jesus, that again.
I am the sneakiest.
As long as you don't rescue a woman and then eat her.
yeah, whatever.
It's like, if needed, I can pull up Disney-approved things.
Well, put on the rest of the armor anyway.
Well, yeah. In that case, I will go ahead and fix this.
Yeah.
Maybe clean off the blood.
Yeah.
What do you do with the body?
Throw it in one of the bubbles.
He's sleeping.
In the bottom of the bubble.
With that air. Yeah, you succeed.
Yeah, just barely.
Just a little bit.
One advantage on my 6
Doesn't take you
successes.
too long. You. And then this color of scrap metal matches. There we go.
Clean that right up. Good thing we had that scrap metal.
Yep. Yeah, you put that on and you again make your trek out there. I guess you're the best one to be put out once he turns off the thing. You're the one to bring the ship to him.
Yeah. As soon as he can't fly a ship.
Exactly. Anyway, so you again make your way out until you can see where the radar is.
I know you don't know, but what kind of blaster pistol is that? Was
Probably
it just a
normal
blaster pistol?
Yeah, I think it's just normal.
Okay.
Nah, he had a heavily modified illegal blaster pistol. This guy was a crook.
Nope. It would just be the normal one.
But you are wearing laminate now.
Yes.
Yeah, normal blaster pistol.
He didn't have a backup breather on any RHS, did he?
Nope.
Nope.
We'll have to get another one. Don't
So
worry.
I'm actually sneaky. I actually get blue dice to sneaking. I forgot about that.
Well, don't worry. We'll just have to find one more guy. I'm finally killing people. Don't ruin this for me.
Yeah, you make your way back out to the outpost.
I should point out that I killed that guy right up there.
So how do you proceed once you can see? How do you go?
I'm gonna go with sneaky again, just in case people came back in the interim. Because we were probably gone for about an
Well,
hour.
you're on his comm
You're
frequency.
probably gone for about 12 hours in between when he left the place and got back.
Oh.
Well, you're on like his comm frequency, right?
The helmet has a communicator.
Yes, yeah, the
Thunder.
helmet would have a basic one. It wasn't tuned to, as far as you can tell, anything.
Oh,
It was off and set
This
to
guy was
basically
slacking.
zero.
This guy's slacking.
Oh,
He was listening to talk radio.
Yeah.
or he had the comm that's actually part of the radar on
No.
2 or 3.
for sneak.
Yeah.
2.
Do we know any more radar dishes are?
He succeeded.
Success with an advantage.
Yes, but they're further out. They're significantly further out.
I was gonna say, I know there's at least one guy in those. We need another suit.
Yeah, so you make it. Yeah, you get in. There's no one there.
Okay. Hey, it's always good to be
Yeah,
precautious.
no, it's very obvious this place is set up to handle having 3 guys manning it. It's not.
Yeah, budget cuts. It's because of the price increase to the from the Puck Corporation.
Computer check to set up a repeat, where it's not that the thing's turned off; it's just showing nothing.
No, mechanics check.
I like that better.
It's 4, but yeah, it's.
Destiny desires this. Just vomit.
Destiny says, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, you just sort of probably breaking one of the sealed environments within the living quarters. You managed to get enough things that you more or less you put like a mirror of a signal that's just sort of broadcasting that. You climb up on the dish of it. All right, just it sees itself. There we go.
All clear.
Yeah, I can tell you if you're clear to come in.
Alright, I go in.
You know enough to stay low and head straight for that dish.
Yeah.
If you vary too much, you'll end up in the overlap. But
I sneak the ship in.
yeah,
It's very sneaky of me.
yes.
Just a quick once over of the different rooms, see if there's anything worth scavenging.
It looks like 2 of them, probably including the one you broke things up, haven't been used
At all.
maybe ever. It's very clear which one he's been in.
You see a picture of your wife and child, you bastards.
Does he have a data pad?
We can always mail the body
No, there would be the equivalent of that built into the actual system up in the radar dish, though.
He had a data pad and you used it.
Damn it, I use all the data pads.
So
Okay.
useful.
Yeah. Computer checks to check in on their system.
To actually check on what system you're in and that kind of thing.
Well, system and what's on the computer, like manifests, what they're doing.
Basically, it looks like he's, on a rotation between. You're more or less able to tell from him checking in. This guy has been on a rotation between 2 radar dishes. It very much feels like they're understaffed here. A little odd considering how overstaffed their capital ships were, but
Yeah.
you feel you kind of understand people don't really want to be here.
Yeah. This is the shit Siberia job
Yeah.
that you get for pissing someone off or incompetence.
It's a great place to work, though. Nobody's paying attention to you. Drink as much as you want. It's nice and cool.
So it's kind of like your job.
I love that job.
You find basically, the idea is that this planet is being used as a mine.
Really? Are you
For
sure?
plastics. They're mining plastic here.
Could have sworn this was a nature preserve.
It's sarcasm, I noticed, don't worry.
Good job, Sheldon.
You do catch the name of the planet is Indivus'Sar.
They could have named it something not that dumb.
Why would they give it a name? It's out in wild space. Shouldn't it have a number?
They decided to plant their flag and say, this is Indivus'Sar. I don't know why.
Indivus'Sar.
Sar.
It does not, as far as you can tell, it doesn't seem that they chose the name. It does seem that it had a name from a previous use, but as you only notice it as mentioned, you don't really know exactly what that was.
Given that this is part of the radar setup, can I see where the other radar are through this one?
You can basically check that they're queer, but other than that, you know basically the general directions they're in, but no.
Do I know which of the two he was supposed to also be manning?
Yeah, you know it's the one that are basically east.
Did he have a hover sled, or did he just walk there?
He walked.
Oh, okay.
Jeez, it's a long walk.
It was a 2-day walk.
Jeez, that's terribly inefficient. Give the man a speed bike, something.
Yeah.
Something we could steal.
Exactly.
Come on.
You do catch that there is a individual that rotates between all of them. You do catch that he probably doesn't rotate between the two stations, but maybe every week, and that a decent amount of times he would end up on carry. There are times when he just decides, I'm bored with this one's running fine, let's go see if there's problems there, and he will just make the walk.
Clean up the blood. Over the comms. Just clean up the blood. Make a mysterious disappearance.
It would really seem more like he just
he
switched
went over
stations
to-
and
yeah.
something happened in the way. Yeah, no.
He just went crazy and deserted.
Yeah.
I don't see why he bothered.
He went on a camping trip.
It's a better story if there's some blood everywhere. You're ruining the plot.
This was the start of a beautiful horror movie. And you just
Now it's a
ruined it.
mystery.
Yeah. Nobody likes mysteries.
People like mysteries.
Yeah, I think that the other game we did enough mystery for quite some time. The Empire's going to come and find that one slave pit that
Have
we
you
dropped
actually made a
with the
check for the
ammo
research, or
happy.
did you just look on it?
I was just scanning through. And it's like, I asked if you wanted me to make
If
a
you
check.
would like to make one with 4, there is possibility for you to basically access beyond just what is the casual logs that are already open and
Access
logged
restricted
into.
data.
Yeah.
Well, I succeed with 1, 2, 3, 3 advantage.
3 advantage and 1 success.
Yes.
You managed to find that basically, looking further into the lines, basically you managed to intercept a communication from one of the capital ships, discover that at least one of them right now is leaving as you're pretty much sitting there. And you managed to get a communication that they are loaded and headed to Geonosis.
Which is where we came from?
No,
I know the name, but I don't
you
know.
do know the name.
That's from whatever Attack of the Clones, right? With the bug people.
Yes.
You know, one of the bug people. There's a lot of them. I don't want to be specious.
Especially you.
Don't want to be specious.
I'm pretty sure calling them the bug peoples isn't better.
Hey, that's completely apt. It's a physical description.
Just like we're the monkey people.
Yeah. That's not racist. That's just what you guys are.
Well,
All
Yeah,
right.
he's pretty... Oh, yeah.
he's like reptilian-ish?
Yeah, you're the lizard people.
Well, not quite lizard people, but a little more.
We know what the lizard people, the Trandoshans.
Yeah, but he's still a little reptilian.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Like gecko people.
so yeah, you do get that. That
Geckos are
essentially that they are loaded, and that's where the destination that they're headed for is.
Hey, we successfully have the enemy force.
Yeah.
Do we get experience for that?
For what?
For having the enemy force.
You didn't.
Yes, but not. for
But
that.
we are now dealing with half the enemy we were.
You weren't dealing with any of them.
I disagree. I like to say that from
They
the
were
moment I started,
completely irrelevant to you.
to the point when I started theorizing hitting with asteroids, combat was joined, and this has been a very elaborate game of cat and
You know
mouse.
what? If it turns out that they ran into an asteroid as they left, then yes. That didn't happen, unfortunately.
Come on,
Give it a 1%.
you can at least roll for it.
Come on, give it a 1%.
1%. Do you realize how much? If I roll all zeros 2 times in a row. Oh look, I didn't.
God, that
That was so close, so close.
It would have been glorious, though.
I'd have given you so much experience. I'd have broken the game. I would just because of this slight of odds that I gave. That'd have been whatever 100 or something. But
Take
Remember,
whatever,
always bully the DM into glory.
take whatever you can get. Well, I'm ready to move on to the next place and start killing more people.
I'm very annoyed that I'm stuck at the ship. Ordinarily, being the pilot means I'm never in the ship.
I'm sorry. I feel that it's good that you, as the pilot, get to feel this.
Well,
Seeing
remember-
as some previous games where I was the pilot.
Well, remember that's that's kind of true though. Even in the old Star Treks, the captain always on the away party.
Technically, if you land at the base, you can hold your breath long enough to get into one of the airlock rooms. Not one of the ones not the one he broke, one of the other two.
Yeah, you could just hang out locked in a room.
Those actually are provided. Those are
And
provided.
pout? Just sit there and pout?
Yes. But then you're not on the ship.
Well, are we able to find out where one of the other radio stations with people in it is?
We're trying to do something without killing them.
Furthermore,
we need another suit.
Furthermore, you could just as well guess that the other stations might have someone that jumps between them, and there may or may not be someone there as well.
So tell you what, here, you're sneakier. You can take the suit and Murdery, and you can go with them to the next one.
But you
It's
don't know how
2
to
days
pilot.
away.
Yeah.
We're not going to the next one. We're just going continuing forward, I thought.
I don't think there's enough of breaking the line to go forward, is there?
What?
Could we stealthily get closer to the mines,
By foot, definitely.
but by ship?
You'd be risking it, but possibly.
Well, how far is it by foot to the mine?
A little under a day, probably, to what you would guess to be the closest.
All right, let's do that. That's faster than going to another radar station.
Yeah.
I'm going off foot. I'm good with it.
I'm willing to let Bob take that because he's more murdery than me.
I'm stealthier than you, too.
Yeah.
And he can fly the ship as long as there's no combat in it. It's only if the ship has to do anything fancy. he
Hey,
has
don't
to
break
go.
my ship. Now remember, if anything happens, anything at all, I want you to take this ship. Come and save me.
Don't do anything with my ship. I look at you, readjust my seat.
Hey, you put that back.
Technically, you can just have one of the other seats and fly it from there as well. You don't even have to use
No. I said in the seat he was in and readjust it.
That's what you do.
Have a fun hike.
Like I said, in those 2 weeks, I fixed my clothes, played chess. You got that seat just perfect.
No. Flip you a puck. Have a fun walk.
Of course I will. With the Puck Corporation, I'll find all the nutrients I need.
It's my own fault. I wanted to give you bad food to express that you were not in a good situation when you didn't seem to care about
Well, you
it.
should have mentioned that it had low nutrition value. But instead, we have
Unfortunately-
nutrition pucks.
Yes, the pucks have the highest nutritional value. Not the best taste.
The highest nutritional value of any cardboard around.
So you make your way, yeah, little under a day. So, I'm going to call those normal days. I will point out you have not had a sunset in the several days that you've been here.
That's okay with the Puck
we've-
Corporation. It's
We've
dinner
swung
anytime.
around the planet. We know it has a dark side.
Yes.
Is it tidally locked?
No.
Not quite. Just very slow.
Yeah, it's just really slow.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you
It's-
tidally locked, this side would be on fire.
Especially with it being all metally and whatnot.
On fire.
No, it just has basically week on, week off.
It's a good thing I have a thermal cloak. which is something I always buy.
But anyways, yeah, you pretty much make your way, and the mine is... You're really close before you figure out how close you are. Because the mine doesn't actually stick up above the ground.
We can't hear the noise?
Considering
it's probably in a hollow, made of metal, which is going to create gigantic echoes that would be hearable from vast distances.
I'm not really sure. I'm not going to settle on it. Either you hear it from so far away that it doesn't matter. You pretty much hear it from the radio station, or you don't hear it.
The point is, we get close and then it's there.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a notice of a sealed top to one of the holes.
Okay, so there a guard station up here?
Nothing sticking above the ground.
So, sneak in?
Yeah. Remember, I'm your prisoner.
Yeah, totally are.
Now, are you going with the... You're supposed to be here?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, an extra purple.
Oof,
So many
close.
blanks.
So close.
2 successes.
Yeah.
You nailed it, but so close.
Yeah, you
That blue saved your bacon.
I totally have to give him a push to sell it, and that hurts me, because he's my friend.
You're so sweet.
It's part of my thing.
But yeah, yeah, it is. He's your... Yeah, you make your way there, and you probably your biggest pause is at the door and figuring out how that opens. But you're fortunate enough that someone else, that pretty much you're standing outside and you sort of sit down when one of those ships comes down. One of the ones that people were taken up to from. It opens up empty, and pair of guys walk out from the other side, and they look at you. One of them try running.
You didn't get far.
He's one of them with their own air supply.
Yeah. It's funny to take it away and watch him scrabble for a few seconds before you give it back.
Nah.
How many guys?
Just the 2.
2 of them.
2 guys. And is this top see-through?
No, but it's opening.
Oh, okay.
And plus, I'm almost sure you don't have your slug rifle.
Why would I not have it?
Because I tell you
Because-
that would be a bad idea.
Because we're passing you off as a prisoner.
But in fact, I'm carrying your gaffy stick.
Fine.
I look suspiciously at this plan.
What? It's somewhere where you can easily grab it and beat the crap out of people.
It's true.
It's not like I'm going to hold it back from you.
But yeah, they joke a bit with you about not like he was going to get too far here anyways, but...
Aliens are stupid, yeah.
You're on a barren metal planet. There's no other civilization. It's
So good thing I'm wearing a helmet. I am human, just like you. It is a very good thing I am wearing a helmet.
And then it's a full body suit too. It's just yeah.
Did you see the latest episode of Human Idol? It was excellent.
Indeed, all those humans. It's a good thing to see.
But they head down and sort of with the the pair of them, for him to follow and you to back him up. And you make it down what is sort of a flight of stairs into the ground. It goes down some probably 20-minute walk downstairs.
Did we get a corridor where we're out of sight of other people?
That's a very good question.
You twice pass through other what are sort of built into the sides sort of checkpoints, but there are
With dudes in them?
yeah.
Lots of dudes?
There's probably a dude in each one.
Just one.
Yes.
Is the checkpoint
Security here is terrible.
Yeah, well, I think we've established
So
that.
how many people... So is there a point where I can jump these guys without being seen by a checkpoint?
Yes, but most likely they're in communication. They would most likely notice, even though they're not right there to help. So they wouldn't be able to help with it, but...
we would still get caught and no longer be sneaking.
I'm just saying, I'm being a belligerent prisoner, giving you the wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that maybe we should be just, solve this problem diplomatically.
I feel like this is not the time for diplomacy.
And I'll yield to your judgment. I'm just saying, maybe a little diplomacy called for. A little bit.
I feel like there will be a lot of diplomacy later. We can save right now. You've already diplomacy today.
Okay, you make it down into what is the mine. You definitely hear the sounds of the machinery as they get down. And you pretty much find what is more or less an open mine that seems a bit systematic in what spots they're mining out. Right at the bottom is more or less, it's basically piles of containers on what is sort of a device that'll take them up the stairs. And the two guys that are there, you get in and they sort of see you off as they start taking each a pallet, for the back of the words, up that stair system, presumably back up to the transport ship.
Wow, they got all these slaves and still have to push pallets up themselves?
Yeah, I just kind of look at
The pallets are basically, it's basically a droid. They're just seeing them up into the ship.
like, man, how many of those things you got to take up each time?
They have to pretty much, it's 2 trips up and down the stairs each time. They are large sections, and you can kind of see the rows of them back where the drafted individuals have been placing the metal within them.
Yeah, we're going to have to free as many of these people as possible and then steal the ship so that we can steal the ship, the people, and the stuff. That's a triple win. Then we can extort the people to get them back to their homeworld. I mean, charge them for reasonable transport.
You also notice, looking at the laborers, that they seem to all be hooked up to a line. They don't seem to have, like he has, being, not using oxygen, he has his own, oxygen his own mask for
Yes, without
atmosphere.
this, I wouldn't be able to breathe.
But it looks like all the others, the majority of which do require oxygen, are all hooked up to a central line that just sort of goes down a row and connects each of them over to one of the platforms nearest the bottom of the stairs. Otherwise, it doesn't look like there are any other people that are actually down in there with them that you see.
They're not being guarded because they have a lifeline that they can't get too far away from that point or they all die.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just held captive by, here's your air.
So how many people did I see up to this point?
What kind of people?
Guards.
A coalition. There are the 2 that are headed back up, and there is the checkpoint near the top and the checkpoint near the bottom that has an observation over the room. Each of those checkpoints has 1 individual in it. So 4 people is all of coalition is all you've seen down here
So far.
so far.
Yeah,
2 of them stationed. 2 of them basically doing the stuff where they're actually getting it back up to their ship.
I turn up the radio in the helmet.
Okay.
The helmet's comms.
Okay.
Any chatter?
27.
Alright. I'm like, act like you belong. I'm gonna go check out the area up there.
Go stand near the other person.
I go stand near the other prisoners.
You notice they each have what is more or less a device to mine.
What kind of device?
A mechanical device.
What's it do?
Can he bludgeon someone
Mining
with it?
laser? Jackhammer?
Not quite a jackhammer, but for us would be similar. It seems to be designed on, we want a jackhammer, but we don't want it to be used as a weapon. You could still use it as an equivalent
like-
of a gaffy stick.
Oh.
It would not be any better than a gaffy stick, though. The actual mechanical parts would not be usable for as a weapon, but it's still a big piece of metal that you can hit with the head with.
You're not willing to give me heavy machinery?
Okay, so I'll walk up to one of the observation areas.
There's two
Yeah,
of them.
no,
One
if
all
you-
the way
you-
top and one down here.
Yeah, the
one
one that's
down here.
Yeah, the one down here. Yeah, you just stand in front of the door. They look over to see. They'll open your end of the airlock,
I walk in.
close it, open the other,
I walk through.
close it.
How things going? So he turns around to look at the machine, at his console.
No, he turns to look at you.
Right.
Simple.
Caught yourself a runner, eh?
Yeah,
Boring conversation, anyways.
More conversation, anyways.
This is what happens. I go off to perform the plan, and you start diplomacy without me.
I'm diplomacying him.
Diplomacy being a rifle.
You're
Two
underestimating how big your room is. No, you'd probably still be within short. Darn it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, the room's probably huge. He probably just went
No,
over there.
no, the room, probably, they'd have to be at the other end. You could be in the middle. If you were standing in the middle of the room, you'd be engaged with the whole room.
Oh, okay.
Just gonna look around. How's it going?
Boom. So,
Beautiful day, huh?
So that's a 2
you-
successes, 2 advantages, and a triumph.
And the dude's got, whatever, the soak of 3 and a wound threshold of 6. So,
I don't...
I'm guessing you did at least, 9?
My rifle's 10.
Yeah. So, he dies. But you instantly catch on the radio, what was that?
Hold on, he has a triumph. Did anyone hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not saying that they heard it. Definitely some of the dudes around Austin heard it. As far as the people at top, they just noticed pretty much a lapse in their thing. And they're because what just happened?
I slipped.
That's going to be 3 purples.
Slept. That sounds an
Pretty
awful lot like what a
deception.
Rhodian would say.
What? Deception.
Deception.
It's a cunning.
Get those.
I don't really know what would make that noise, unless, like, equipment malfunction would be a better lie.
I succeed.
I succeed with a lot of bad stuff, but I succeed.
That is 3 successes and 5 bad stuff.
5 threat.
I just feel...
That's still a success.
It's like, I slipped. I think I broke my back. All that acting strains the fuck out of you.
So you fumble with it to get your reply in. And yes, you're looking at the comm and that and sort of for what their response is, and they're like, alright, just let us know if there's any issues.
Okay.
I mean, so you're looking down at the computer. What do you do?
I look up and look around.
He is now that guard.
Yeah, I sit down at the computer and...
Well, where he was originally was probably more observation for the room around Austin.
if
People are not doing well.
Oh. What was the button he had his hand on? What do you have his hand on?
You're not sure.
I read the labels.
Look for the one that says, let prisoners live.
No, you're not seeing this. You at this point are aware that everyone around you seems to be stopping their work and
Is that
looking for some sort of error.
is that a perception? What would that be?
See, you're trying to figure out this system. That's going to be 3, and you know what? I'm feeling feisty, so I'm going to upgrade one of those, and that's going to be computer use.
The Force demands that these prisoners die.
2 success with 3 bad stuff.
1 success.
You see, the best way to do this is to turn it
1
around.
success and 3 bad stuff.
So
Sorry.
turn it around the other way. If you manage to fumble around until you trip the oxygen to reflow to the prisoners, But in doing so, you managed to trip the comms and give yourself away again.
Now, deception.
At this point, we're just something seems to be going wrong with the equipment. I'm gonna have one of them stop and send someone down.
Okie dokie. I switch communication channel to his.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I just pull up my other comm and go, can you go ahead and just kill the crap out of that dude who's coming down?
Yeah.
Excellent.
You still have his weapons.
He's got a gaffy stick and a...
Okay, he got his stick equipment, yes.
I get it. Well, they got... How long are the stairs? The stairs take a while to go up and down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just go up to his room and get my weapon.
Yeah, okay. Is there a place to hide, or is it all transparent steel?
Well, it's all transparent.
Alright. Alright.
It is windows on all sides. It's the observation room.
I get my weapon.
And just start banging on the... just start banging on the door and start screaming about how I'm killing everyone by taking away their air, seeing how you're the only one who gets to be a pain in the ass. And you've already proven yourself as disgruntled.
Because I can just... If I stand at the bottom of the stairs, how soon... At what range will I see the person coming down?
Extreme.
Extreme. I can't shoot at extreme. Give me your gun.
I like my gun.
Give me your gun. It's got longer range than mine.
My gun's... It does have long range.
Longer
Technically,
extreme.
you can just go out and do that.
I'm like, yeah, hey, just stand here and hold this button. I give him his gaffy stick back.
At least I got my stick back.
Well, there's also a pistol on the ground.
No.
No, he wasn't even packing.
Okay, so I go up.
You killed an unarmed man. You
Unarmed. Yeah, basic. Just not even in the normal.
Laminate?
Yeah, laminate.
Was he sending down the... Is he sending down, like, one of the dudes from the ship, or is he coming down himself?
Did you inquire further?
No, you just
Well, the
sending
bigger point
someone
is,
down.
you going up isn't suspicious because they expect a guy to come back up after dropping off a prisoner.
That's true. I go back up.
Okay.
And, knock on the other outpost.
You don't quite get to it before you do catch the pair of guys that were coming down. That had dropped off the middle at the top.
I'm just like, dude down there's having fun. He started choking the dudes out.
You know, they're the ones that are doing the work.
Like,
Filthy animals.
it's like, has production slowed down? Clearly, he's doing it at a reasonable level.
Nice try. Slide past you.
Is there a way I can set
Sorry,
this guy up in like a chair? Weaken the Bernie's a little bit.
He shot him.
Yeah.
There's blood and there's
No, there's not.
He's got a laser gun.
a big hole.
Hey, if I turn him away, it's like unnoticeable, right?
There's a Gand in there with him.
Just act like you're blowing him.
Roll a skullduggery check. That's what this is. It's a skullduggery check.
No, I've got the little jackhammer thing, right? I got the jackhammer thing. I'm going to set it on the table, and I'm going to have my hand on the button, and I'm going to have the gaffy stick out of sight, but at my other side.
Okay.
That's just how I'm going to sit.
Just sitting, sort of hiding behind the body.
Not behind the body. I'm just in the room, blatantly in the room.
Okay.
By the
And
way,
they
does
can-
that
and they
oxygen
can
button
see.
actually need to be held down for...
No.
No, it doesn't.
It's a click on or click off button.
It's not that either. It's actually not necessarily the single button that's doing it. But
Just have to modulate the oxygen.
Okay, so,
But otherwise, they're
Am I-
going to see the murder weapon. They're going to see the body. They're going to see the Gand.
okay, so, am I closer to the top observation
at
point
that point, you're closer to the top.
than they are to seeing him? Okay, yeah, I go up to the top.
Okay.
Knock on the door.
Open.
Walk in.
Open.
Alright. So, how's that weather out there? Boring conversation anyway.
Hey, man. he see it coming from a friendly in full uniform? Probably not.
No, he's just dead. I have craft on some advantage too,
Okay.
but he's dead.
6
Very well.
advantage. Nope, 5 advantage.
Yeah, dead. That would be dead.
And at least a single success.
Yep.
So
11
11 damage.
So then I leave, go back down the stairs. Actually, I hurry down the stairs and go, "Hey!" And I'm screaming at the guys down there.
They're still going, and you even walk down the stairs, and you start walking down the stairs, and you notice that they've turned to head back up before they got to the bottom.
I'm like, "There's dude's dead up here."
We need you to turn around and head up.
Boring conversation, anyways. What range were they at?
They would be medium?
So 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2.
Medium is 2.
I triumphed.
But you have 2 bad things.
Yeah, I do triumph with 2 bad stuff.
But it's still like 3 successes.
4
That's
successes.
going to be 2 strain.
Well,
Okay,
you got 2 negatives, so it's only 2 successes.
so I'm at 3.
Well, 3.
3, yeah.
Triumphs.
Well, I'm at 2, but no, Alright.
That one guy's probably certainly dead.
Yeah, you can just use them. Yeah, he's dead.
Well, what can you use a triumph on?
Killing the guy?
Okay. I didn't know if there was anything beyond killing the guy, like killing the other guy.
Yeah.
Does it intimidate the other guy to dropping
Wait.
his weapon?
No, you have no advantage. No? Does your thing have auto fire or anything like that? Or is it just...
It does have auto fire.
But he would have to make the decision before the shot.
Oh, yeah. It would be another purple.
You have to choose to use auto fire before you fire. Because it has a purple.
Yeah.
And then you get extra. And that only works by spending advantages. But you could spend the triumph to activate any special quality.
Just not that one, because you didn't
You have
take
to make
it.
that choice. Does he scare the other one into surrendering because he probably only has a pistol and this guy's carrying a heavy blaster rifle?
And his pistol's out of range.
No, it's fine.
It's
It's
in
not.
medium.
Oh, okay.
But you know, hey, dude, I just want to.
This conversation was boring anyways.
Unfortunately, this is a boring conversation.
Should have put more ranks into it.
Well, it's still one more purple.
For what?
It's medium range still.
You monster, by the way.
I succeed with an advantage. I'm going to go ahead and heal a strain.
You monster.
You've killed both of them.
Yes. They have breathing equipment. So I stripped them of their breathing equipment.
We have 4 breathing suits now.
No, the guy downstairs didn't have a...
He didn't have any way to get into
Neither
it.
did the eye upstairs.
Yeah, no, not the ones that were locked in there.
I
Which, interestingly enough, makes technically they do those two. If you dig around the rooms, they do both have basically breathers. They just don't have full masks.
Okay. So I take it. I go down to the people enslaved.
Okay.
And I'm like, so, is there any way to get you guys out of here without you all suffocating horribly?
Right.
They look kind of confused at you.
I'm talking in basic. I'm like, oh, the uniform. Pop the helmet off. Holding your breath. Pop it back on. I'm just like...
This is a prison break. You were prison
break.
I'm like, yeah, they annoyed me at some point in time in the past, so now I'm fucking with them.
I just love that is what this campaign is now. Yeah. And it is. I let them annoy you until you're like, we're gonna have to handle it.
I'm like, so, how far can those hoses go upstairs? Because if we can get you upstairs to where you can hold the breath to get to their ship, I can get you to my ship and we can get out of here.
Does the
I
top
figure
open up?
they'll probably... They're not sure they make it. It won't go even halfway up the stairs, so they'll still have 10 minutes to go.
So
Well, we
basically
have
put
breathing.
helmets on 2 of them, bring them up.
No, I think we're going to take the rebreathers and have them pass it around as they need breath, as best they can.
How many prisoners are there?
In here, there would be... 43.
43. Yeah, that's a big number.
Yeah, it's more than a few.
I'm like, okay. How are we gonna...
How did they get dropped off here? Does the top open up? Ship land?
Yeah, they came down through the stairs with a system, but that was from the ship that was there.
So, Nick, fly in here. Figure out how to open up the top so we can land and load them on.
It doesn't seem that the stairway seems to be the only way down here.
So how did they get them down here?
Through that.
The ship had longer hoses.
Does the ship have longer hoses? I asked one of them how they got down here.
They were hooked into some machine on the ship.
I'm like, okay. I dart back up the stairs,
Okay.
and then I walk out there like I own the place to the ship.
The ship is gone.
Who's flying the ship?
Well, they got
They took a load, and
Yeah,
when
but
you
it
first
takes
got
2 loads to load the ship.
Yes.
He keyed his mic and got rid of him. Like, okay, Nick, fly in here with the ship, please.
fly in.
Fast and loud.
Yeah, I'm just like, I call down to you. I'm like, yeah, get as many of them up here as you can. We'll start loading them into.
They can't breathe.
You have
You can
3
get
breathing units on you right now. You can get a 4th too.
you can get them off, and you can get you could start shoving them into that one second room. Actually, can you?
Sorry, I'll have to stay here.
Because pretty much in order to act, you probably are locked out of
Can
the
we
top
move
room.
the whole machine that produces air?
You don't. The one down here? No. It is built within the actual computer console at the bottom observation deck.
We can't jury-rig that onto like a trolley?
He could.
He might be able to.
Yeah, get over here, get down there, save as many people as you can.
Yeah, can't we just plop this onto a trolley and just have them push their own air trolley? They'll defend that. I give them a quick lesson on the proper method for striking somebody with a blunt object.
Which is this.
You gather that flying through, you're not the only one more or less aware of what's going on in the area.
Mm-hmm. Like comm chatter, or do I see another?
Comm channel.
And there's nothing going through the comms on a helmet.
I do radio in on ours and say they know some stuff's going on.
You can give him the signal as well.
Oh yeah.
And you pretty much gather that more or less while the system, especially with the droids, can stand back and forth, he'd have to be sitting there because they switched channels once they figured out what's going on.
So, as I'm getting closer, do I see any other inbound ships?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
Swing around, park.
I'm like, I'm taking this trolley too.
Yeah, there are probably down at the bottom, in addition to all of the little miney things, there's that bottom room that if Austin has left, you guys are also locked out of.
I haven't.
Okay.
I'm in there holding the button down
Yeah.
because I think that's how the air works.
Because that's what you were told. Hold this. Which really, that would be the best and cruelest way of making sure that they didn't rebel. But yeah, you have probably down there probably 7 of the trolleys, each mostly loaded with crates of the raw metal.
Alright, so I take a trolley up as I'm going up and
Okay.
tell Nick when he lands to get down there and start jury-rigging the way to get the people up, and I'll stay on the ship.
Is there a way to talk to people from inside the booth?
Barely.
I would think there'd be a loudspeaker so the guy in there could just, hey, you! Yeah, you! Stop that!
Do you want to try and figure it out?
I'm not really worried about it. I was told to hold this button down. The other button's got to do something, right?
It's like, bring me a mask and I can come down.
Oh, right! I totally grabbed one of the dude's helmets.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. You get a mask. You are able to talk. You are not sure that it's just them that it's going to.
I begin espousing about I begin giving a political discourse on the values of citizenship and civil disobedience.
They know it's you.
There's listening. What? What the? It's that Gand. It's that Gand.
God damn it! I built you a new identity.
I've heard this exact speech before.
As going down the stairs, scoop up those other pistols
Okay.
from the dead guys.
Yeah.
So we have 3 breathing masks for 43 people. Go and start examining their air supply machine.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have soft rock?
It's a band. Air supply's a band.
Oh.
Air supply the band.
It almost made sense to you. It's like, do they have soft rock?
And
Like, is it
Nick,
connected to a soft rock?
Nick, obviously this plan is pure metal.
Pure metal.
Yeah, it's more or less he's able to let you into the room. It seems to be built within this room almost as it's also facing into what's,
Pop off some panels and start looking. It's like, can I break the air portion out and have that carry off with them carrying it?
You spend about 5 minutes sort of examining it from both ends, and you figure, yes, you could, but it would probably take about an hour's worth of work to get it out of here while still functioning. You could probably do it in about 10 to 15 minutes if you shut it off. But that would be long enough that more or less they'd all be dead.
And all 43 are
think
connected to the same one?
Yes.
Okay. That is not enough time to play past the breathing machine between 46. Or 43 of them.
Why not just wait the hour?
At that point, you...
It's like, okay, as long as I can get back up, Gand, go sit in the gunner ship and blow anything out of the sky that comes down here.
I don't think I'm allowed to aim up.
Okay.
Alright, well, I go on the ship. I get on my gunnery seat. I feel much safer behind giant walls of Durasteel.
It's like,
And I look for targets at extreme or long range.
you know what? Mick, you go too. Just fly around, make sure nothing happens while I work on this. Keep us safe down here while I get them free.
Let's go straight to the radio stations.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
So they have no vision down here.
Probably about 20 minutes into it, the comm...
Channel.
not the one that you're on, the one that the station was set to. Peaks up to the pretty much announcing that they're cutting off power in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Pretty much announcing we've figured we've found distress. We're aware of it. Pretty much announcing to their own people if we've had issues. We're cutting off power in 10 minutes.
Okay, stop what I'm working on here. Go back to the other stuff. See if I can reroute my own power and keep power on here anyways.
From what?
I don't know. That's why I'm looking.
What do you have that has that much of a power supply?
We have a ship.
Your ship's flying around. You guys are taking out radar stations. By the way, they knew you were here more or less, but they definitely know. They do have at least some reason to think maybe that you're off a bit because all of a sudden, I'm guessing you're just more or less going by and shooting the radar dishes.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, they're aware they're under attack. Which that you get off of the channel that they'd switched to once.
Get on the comms and start espousing about, can it really be considered an attack if it's an uprising of the citizenry?
Yes!
Hey, that's a response. It's now a conversation.
Mechanics check to figure out how to either stop their cutoff signal for the power, or if there's something I can do just to keep power to this console.
Well, we can save, like, what, 3 people?
Just trying to figure out if it's possible.
We've got 4 breathing masks. We could save at least 4 people.
I took mine with me.
Yeah,
Try it.
there was 4 down there, besides the one you had.
So,
Yeah, send a distress signal that prevents the power cutoff due to a
2 successes
due to
and a
a safety
triumph.
regulation.
2 successes and a triumph.
That's what you use a triumph for. They keep telling the computer to shut off power. The computer keeps registering back. Emergency detected at location. Power shut off denied.
What do you have with you? You obviously have 2 of the blaster pistols that you just grabbed.
2 of the blaster pistols, another blaster pistol, and the holdout pistol. I keep him.
He cannibalizes the blaster pistol power packs for a power source.
Yeah.
I'm literally fucking.
You're more or less-
These are batteries.
Yeah, you're
You're the
able to
king of
just,
generating.
pretty much. It takes you maybe an extra 5 or 10 minutes added to your work. Be able to strip out up to them and give about a 10-minute boost of power once it shuts down. So let's see, that was about a half hour. We add 10 minutes to what it takes, so it's going to take 70 minutes. It would take all 4 of them, pretty much, of just stripping them out to, alright, these don't fire anymore, but you're able to provide power to the oxygen system at least that long. And if during that time you can contact them if you have more on the ship. Because you'll probably need at least 1 more to get up the stairs.
Yeah. I tell one of you to bring the other heavy blaster pistol and blaster rifle. Those have way bigger clips. And come, I got them ready to go, but we need those.
Bigger clips, same power pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power
Okay,
packs are universal.
so I go and drop the Gand off to run them down whilst I stay in the ship.
I got guns.
Yeah, guns.
He takes the guns. There.
Yeah. And it's like, you also get to carry these. We'll have to
Power packs
recharge
cost like
them.
10 credits.
Yeah, we'll have to recharge them later.
You just have to get to civilization before you can do it.
Yep.
So, leading 4 to 3 people up a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Tell me.
At some point, it's like,
At that point, you do not expect further resistance. What you got, particularly once they're blowing things up, is that they pretty much told you that they're shutting off that system, and that more or less they were, guiding people to lock things down and get to safety. More or less we're under
Bring up
attack.
carts.
yeah.
Bring up the carts.
Well, after we get
Or the
everyone
comms.
loaded up.
Make sure you bring up the carts whilst you're loading these people up.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't slow them down. Just bring them. Give us more stuff.
Yeah. And it's like, we're taking these for our payments. Prison break and payment. So we steal all their metal.
No, that's just all the stuff here.
Yeah, all the stuff.
Well,
that
we
was
get
there.
7 hover carts.
Yes, we do have hover carts. I may be able to fashion a hover vehicle out of hover carts. I don't have a propulsion.
So slow.
I don't have a propulsion system yet, but I have hover
Just
technology
take your
now.
pistol and shoot behind you whilst you're on it.
Pistol doesn't shoot anymore.
None of them do.
Yeah, basically, your gun works currently.
His slug rifle still works.
Yeah, the slug rifle still works.
The glories of chemical reactions.
Okay, so we get them on the ship.
Yeah, you're able to load everywhere. You didn't have much in your cargo before, did you?
Yeah, we sold all of our metal off
Okay.
for the using the bay.
All right.
Assure them we aren't slavers.
We just right to them for slavers.
They were told that they were labor. They'd been drafted.
They're not getting paid.
Well, it was a draft.
They still.
Nope. Not rising. I'm not rising.
We also
nope.
take one of the other laminate armors for me, I guess.
Well,
I don't think you
throw
can
his
fit the
body-
laminate armor.
Can I doctor one up to make it work mostly?
With your shape, they would know the difference.
Obviously, but would it still count as laminate and thereby increase my soak?
No.
It wouldn't count?
No.
I couldn't just paint enough plates onto my stocky body to give myself the soak boost?
No.
Okay, so let's load all these people.
Well, we take the extra one anyway. Maybe I can get a professional to refit it.
Like Nick.
Okay, yeah. You'd take it anyways on your way. But yeah, so you make it up.
That gives us 3 laminate suits.
Yes, you make note of it. They're all the painted from clone armor. Anyways,
So we get 7 carts, most of them at least partly loaded.
yeah,
One of them was fully
with
loaded.
the raw metal. Yeah, 2 of them are fully loaded.
Where'd you get this raw metal? We found it.
What do you want me to write down here for metal? 7 carts of metal.
Yeah, that's good enough. But so yeah, you get everything up into the cargo container, which more or less is seal the back end, open the front, everyone in, close the front, re-access it to the rest of the ship.
I'm just like,
Which you'll know is an interesting thing with the way where your gunner position is put up. If they do the sealing of the cargo container, that seals you in your gunner room. You actually get stuck in there during those times.
Like I leave this place anyway.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so yeah, stealthy out then, I guess.
Fly around long planets.
Yeah, fly
Well,
around.
they have no more radar dishes down here, so
Yeah. They just have their capital ship above, so
Yeah.
probably fly around.
fly around, take off from the other side of the planet.
Yeah. So you leave. Yeah, you leave. Indivus'Sar.
They definitely have more minds.
More than likely.
You're short on space at this point.
Yeah. We can come back here. It's like, now I have the astrogation points to here. We can come back here and just keep raiding this place.
I'm relatively sure the personnel is about to get bumped.
They might put some more people down there for defense. Maybe.
But it's either going to be that or abandoning this planet. It's going to be one of them.
So,
Somebody raided us once. Let's just leave it.
Really, depending on the value that they place on it. If it is not of high value, then yeah. But anyways, we'll end with that as you're leaving the planet to head back out. And that is where
we're
we
completely good people. None of us did anything bad.
Nope.
That's where we'll pick up
I
next
didn't
time.
shoot any surrendering people.
no, you just assassinated a man from behind.
As far as I know,
He
he's
was,
just
he
showing.
was a hostile in a combat zone.
As far as I know, he was just showing me that he washed his hands last time he used the bathroom.
Now you can.
Okay, sorry. Now we can.
Have a good day. Bye.
Not doing the experience thing again.
Fine.
Oh,
You guys get 20 experience. Have a good day. Bye. So, I hope that was enjoyable. I have continue to be Adam, the game master. That's,
Gand.
yeah, Gand is Austin. Dean is Nick, and Mick is Bob.
Yes.
Did you start shaking your head because you didn't remember your own name?
Yes.
I remembered mine.
Yes. Gand, Dean, and Mick. So hopefully I use those throughout the session as needed. Trying to get used to that. It's just, for years, it's not what I've done. It would be preferable. Austin's running a game for our other game of the week, so I don't have to run 2 right now, and he's using our names. It's really nice.
Helps build immersion.
It makes it so people actually remember what their name is.
That too. It's like it's easy to forget. It helps build immersion. Helps you keep track of who your character is, what they're supposed to act like.
Bosh.
Helps keep that connection.
Yeah, it's really bad news bears when you accidentally shift into the wrong alignment because you've been playing evil characters far too long, and now your lawful good character's acting questionably.
Questionably.
Oh, gee.
How? Is
It's happened more than once, hasn't
Is it
that?
against the law to torture people?
Lawful is torture, right? Anyways, so we're filming this, obviously, before the session that you just would have seen. So to catch them up, make sure you remember, it's been a couple weeks for us. You
What are you talking about? We were here last Thursday. Quit breaking the fourth wall.
technically that would have been 2 Thursdays ago since they had an upload. I try and go back and forth between sessions and other videos.
Every Thursday.
So last time you had an ordeal with the Coalition. Gand was almost drafted.
I don't know why they wouldn't let me work. I was willing.
You didn't follow instructions.
I put everything I was required to put up on the thing.
And then that just took enough time that they were able to get you out. Otherwise, they would have just probably broken you. But anyways, you discovered part of what the coalition is up to, and Dean over here put a tracker on that particular of their capital ships. You are currently back all together, back on the Fire Opal in orbit over Neomodia, and planning where to go from there. So that is where we left off. Now, let's find out about some Destiny. Actually, I didn't even roll obligation either.
30. That's...
No.
3, but... 3 puts it at Nick. Nick's -2. You others are -1. And let's see, that was 1 right side Destiny point from Austin.
Hey, I finally didn't roll black.
1 black from
Why do you
Bob.
have to say that? And Nick consistently rolling
2
good.
white.
2? Not only good! 2! I consistently roll 2.
So our
Consistently.
starting Destiny
Uh-oh,
is
Reggie.
3 white and 1 dark.
Now, never
And now we
spend.
to be fair, they've spent them pretty decently.
I know,
what's
this
this-
was me encouraging them not to spend them.
they use them for good purposes.
Encouraging.
I was tempted to flip a whole bunch of them when I was messing around in the
Just for fun.
just for show. But I'm like, Destiny doesn't care about these things.
And that's a lot of times what I think of when I'm going to use them. It's like, no, I want to make it difficult, your life difficult.
And remember,
But
we're
Destiny
in Star
doesn't care.
Wars, so if the Destiny cares, it's the Force. The Force did it. Ben Kenobi.
Well, I mean, that's the Force dice that you roll to generate those, so.
Yeah, it's Ben Kenobi reaching his hand down to protect us.
Anyways, so yes, hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, he's dead by this point.
Yes, he's dead. Obi-Wan Kenobi is dead. But he's a ghost! He's a Force ghost. Blue guy!
Hopefully, everyone's watched that movie.
Sorry, spoilers.
Spoilers for a 30-year-old movie.
No, 40.
Yeah,
40-year-old movie.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.